Moondrop is quite synonym with TWS, wireless earbud. They do have quite a lot of TWS in the market nowadays, and I wasn't able to keep track of all of them, but I do have one with me today, here now, which is the latest offering from Moondrop, one of the latest offering, this ultrasonic here, priced at 75 US dollar. See here, the cradle, yep, very funky looking cradle. And this cradle, by the way, serves the function as, just like many other TWS, to charge the two TWS inside here, the earbud itself. Let me just take them out. It only takes less than 1 hour for this cradle to charge this two earbud here to full 100%. And the cradle itself, if you attach it to USB Type-C, will only take probably 1.5 hours to fully charge. And let's just have a look at the TWS itself here. Okay, as you can see, pretty much very simple, no-nonsense kind of design. And it has this stem here, kind of a bit cyberpunk. I love it. The first thing that you should do is go straight to Play Store and download Moondrop link, which will allow you to control this TWS 100%. Because if you don't do that, then you are missing a lot. Okay, probably you're gonna be having like 70% only of what this ultrasonic is capable of doing. Just go straight to the app, and the first thing that you should do is check for the firmware. Alright, of course, mine is already updated, which is version 1.10. Okay, and the first important thing, which I would definitely recommend that you do, go to ANC setting here, and then you would notice by default it is always set at close, which means that the ANC active noise cancellation being turned off. So just simply toggle it on. Suddenly the ambient sound is gone. Okay, super impressive. It already offers a very good seal even without the ANC. And you can also have transparent. Should you wish to be, let's say, mingling around with people and you want to be able to hear, okay, amplified sound around you while listening to your music. The next important one, function settings here. Okay, you would notice that this ultrasonic, which is, by the way, the only TWS which I have tried so far which contains two drivers, one balanced amateur and one dynamic driver, and also the only TWS which I have tried so far, okay, which offer 3 level of gain, which means that you can go from low, middle, and high. And I am always on high because I'm a volume junkie. Okay, and the next very important one, this is super important. By default, when you first attach this ultrasonic to my phone or to your phone, it will always try to connect to AAC, which is fairly okay, but not exactly the most resolving Bluetooth codec. And what I did was, immediately I turned on LDAC. Okay, telling this TWS operate only an LDAC. I don't want SBC, I don't want AAC. It will actually have certain limitation when it comes to distance. For example, if I put it inside my pocket like this, okay, no problem at all. Connection will be stable. But if I do run on LDAC and I place it on my table, there's a tendency that one side might be losing a signal or the whole signal will get distorted. So just remember that that is the trade-off of running LDAC. By default, it will offer 5 EQ preset. There's no parametric equalizer, but these 5 are good enough. For example, by default it sets to club, okay? And after trying this for quite a while, I have decided that I love monitor, which is the most transparent sounding with the least amount of coloration. It is literally a lot flatter than any of the EQ preset here. If I want to enjoy a bit more of music, not so lifeless of being so flat, then I have found myself to be using this reference quite a lot. I love the kind of sound coming from this reference because it does offer the kind of high fidelity which I would really appreciate. And of course, there's another two here. And I'll just be very honest with you, I don't like these two because they are just super colored with the kind of heavy V sound curve or even some heavy emphasis on the lower frequency to a point that I do not enjoy it at all. Moondrop Ultrasonic is perhaps one of the most impressive active noise cancellation earbud which I have tried so far. Impressive because I already mentioned the native seal of this earbud was already good, even with ANC turned off. And when it is turned on, I was just like, wow. Very recently, I traveled to ShenZhen, China for ShenZhen International Audio Show, and I have opted to use this ultrasonic as my only earbud for that particular day. And first, I would like to talk about the usage, the endurance of this ultrasonic. I must admit, it is kind of a bit lower than the advertised 6-hour runtime because I was only able to get like 4 hours. And you have to remember, I have full ANC turned on and I was also running on LDAC. So perhaps that is one of the reasons why it only gave me 4 hours. But no worries at all. I was able to charge it within less than 1 hour and I was able to get it back online. And the ANC, again, let me just repeat myself. Super impressive. All the noises in the airplane, okay, it's all pretty much just a distant hum which does not interfere with the music itself.
You see this? This is my regular microphone, RØDE Wireless Pro. And what you are hearing right now, I am recording now using this Moondrop Ultrasonic to test the microphone. So what do you think? Do you like it? Is it good? Test 1, 2, 3. Hello, anybody home?
So in general, especially if you run on LDAC and in configuration which is, let's say, running on high resolution files, which is for example, if you run from Tidal, you can get as high as 1000 kbps, and remember LDAC runs on 990, so you are not losing that much of resolution in that process. Tidal streaming is already compressed, by the way, and pretty much I would say that the majority of 90% of songs which I listen to, especially on the move, I am not feeling any kind of loss of resolution. In general, it is also very well balanced. Now, I always use this word. What does it mean by well balanced? Well balanced simply means that when we look at the three frequency range, lower frequency, mid range, and the upper frequency, the tuning itself, especially if I switch to reference mode or even monitoring mode, does not exhibit any kind of emphasis. So that is the keyword here, balance. So what you're gonna get, especially with the mid range, transparent sound, which means that you're gonna get transparent sounding vocal from both female and male, and also for instrument, even for electronic percussion and stuff like that. And when it comes to upper frequency, especially if you switch to reference and even let's say monitoring mode, what you're going to get is something which is offering a bit of maturity with the way it presents the upper frequency. The treble itself, it does not sound offensive. It is in fact offering the kind of decays which I would consider as pleasant as it is analytical. And the lower frequency, depending again on which EQ preset that you choose, this thing can be quite bassy, punchy with the kind of sub-bass decay, which is also very good. So all in all, it is very versatile. The soundstage is wide and open, even when ANC is switched on. All in all, would I recommend this ultrasonic from Moondrop? Absolutely yes. I think for the price of 75 US dollar, you're gonna get something which is super impressive, considering that this is the very few TWS which offer dual drivers inside. And you have to consider, like I mentioned earlier, the best ANC which I have heard yet, coming from an earbud style TWS. And of course, there are two cons which you might need to consider. First and foremost would be the battery itself. Okay, the battery runs only 4 hours maximum if you run on full LDAC capability, full resolution, and you just need to keep on charging it after the mark of 4 hours. And the second con would be just that kind of a bit, let's say, troublesome when I use LDAC and put it onto my desk. It gets disconnect very easily. Just keep it close to yourself, then the cons would be like not really a deal breaker. So if you are okay with that, definitely this is what I would highly recommend.